What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I got another episode for you today. So obviously we had our bye week this past week. Not a whole lot going on. Not very busy, so didn't really have anything to make any videos about. But it is the week now, preparing for the Colts game on Sunday. We are going to be practicing. The team is going to be practicing tomorrow and Wednesday. Thursday, obviously, is Thanksgiving. So, we'll be getting, more information and stuff as the week goes along, so on and so forth. But there's a couple things I want to talk about. First of all, over the weekend, we did get some help. The Bengals lost. There was a couple games that provided us the ability to stay in, the race for the wild card spot. We're 5-5 right now. We're tied with a bunch of teams. So, we have 6 games left which, frankly, as far as I'm concerned, they are all winnable games. We'll see what happens. But they are definitely all winnable games. I mean, we could get to the point of having a winning record, 9-7, possibly 10-5 or 10-6, and maybe even 11-5 and make it into the playoffs. But anyway, so obviously 1 week at a time. We'll have to see how that goes. But for now, I got a few injury things to talk to you about. Some good news, some bad news, and some kind of in-between stuff. So let's start with the bad news. Unfortunately, we now have another person that is going onto the injured reserve list. That is Jakeem Grant. So we lose yet another wide receiver, one of the fastest guys on the team, and our best punt kickoff returner. So that's a pretty major blow. He's going to be done for the rest of the year. Gase said he did not tear his Achilles, but he did have surgery to something in that area. He wasn't super specific, but he has had surgery, and so he is now out for the rest of the year. Let's see. Bobby McCain is still in the concussion protocol. We'll have to wait and see how he does and whether or not he can clear it before, this upcoming game. He still has time. Devontae Parker still nursing a shoulder injury, but Gase said he could possibly play. Let's see. And then, we got Ryan Tannehill. It looks like Ryan Tannehill is progressing nicely. It looks like he stands a decent chance of playing this upcoming game against the Colts. I hope so. I hope to God he does. And if he doesn't, I really, really hope that Gase does not put Osweiler back in. That would just be a travesty. The Colts and Andrew Luck, they're not doing great this year, but they are, playing pretty well. They did just win this past Sunday. And excuse me. Excuse me. Anyway, they did just win, and we are playing them on the road. We play them in their stadium. It should be a good game, tough game. Definitely a winnable game, though, if the defense plays well and so on and so forth. Anyway, I'll get into that in a preview video, but in any event, it looks like Tannehill, like I said, stands a chance. Gase said that he has been progressing through his program. He is now throwing, 50-plus yards pretty comfortably. He looks, Gase said he's looking fine. So we'll just have to wait and see how he feels. But if we can get him back... also, too, Gase didn't have any firm updates. We'll probably know more tomorrow about Tunsil and James. But I'm going to say that they're probably going to be okay. I would think that those two will probably be back. But we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, so if they, if them two can play, and if Tannehill can get himself healthy and practice this week. And if Tannehill can play, then I think we stand a really good chance to win this game and, win, like I said, 5 out of the, our last 6 games. I think there's I really do believe that there's a ton of winnable games. I mean, we got the Colts, we still got the Bills twice, which are trash. We have the Patriots at home, which is a winnable game, very winnable game. They always have a tough time, especially if Tannehill's playing in that game. And then we got Jacksonville and the Vikings, which are both those teams are struggling. We definitely stand a decent chance, man, of winning 5 of our last 6 games and making it to 10 wins this season and making it into the playoffs. So, Dolphins, do not lose your hope. If you've been getting down, with the way that the season's gone. Also one more thing. Before I do send you off to Adam Gase's press conference, he did talk a little bit about, Stephen Ross and how he's been super supportive. And Stephen Ross, he said that Stephen Ross understands, the situation with, all the injuries. Which, real quick, also, too, we have, since the beginning of the year, we have put 12 players on injured reserve. We currently have 10. 2 have come back. Mike Hull and Jake Brendel, they have returned. But we currently have 10 guys, most of which are major contributors. Sitton, Kilgore, Wilson, Grant, right? We have all of these guys on injured reserve. And then, we're still really banged up. One of the most banged up teams in the league. But anyway, Stephen Ross said he understands. I wouldn't expect there to be any major changes. I wouldn't really expect there to be any changes, honestly, after this season. I mean, there's going to be changes, there's going to be roster moves and stuff like that. But don't expect, any of the major upheavals in the coaching staff. Do not expect the front office to get fired, man. We've had, the most unlucky season when it comes to injuries. And that's just the way it is, man. We just can never catch a break. Every year, it's just always got to be something different. And I get that. I understand. But don't get your hopes down. Get them up. They're going to be okay. Things are going to be fine. I think we're going to do well these last 6 games. And anyway, let's stay tough. Let's stay positive, and let's back our guys. And with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and send you off to the interview with Adam Gase, his press conference from today. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you do, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. I'm really trying to get us up to 100. We're getting there. We're getting so close, guys, so help me do that. So spread it around. Make sure you tell your family, your friends, hit the like button, hit the, share it around. Make sure you leave your questions, comments, and concerns. If you want updates and when I upload videos, make sure you hit the bell. Also follow me on Twitter. It's at Dillon Tartaro, and it is on my end screen. With that, guys, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.
Things up, just to look at some different situations and schemes and what, the whole gamut, and see what had happened. Where can we make some improvement? Where can we make some changes? So, it's like one of those things where you want to really focus on that stuff, and at the same time, we're trying to get a little bit recharged. It's been a while, been a couple of years since we had one of those. So,
what was the most surprising thing you discovered taking a pause and doing the self-scout?
I don't think anything's. I mean, you know what it is because you watch this stuff nonstop, and you really you're reconfirming what you already know. And it's really about what's the solution, and that's really what we focused on. And we feel like we have some things that we can help ourselves with. There's some things where if we can just get a little bit of improvement, it could put us in some better situation. If we have some better execution sometimes in some of the situations, that would really be ideal, especially in the red zone on both sides of the ball.
What about the Phins layout?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing we're always going to keep working on, especially the next 6 weeks, is eliminating the explosive plays. That's really what's been what's hurt us more than anything. And it's just all it takes is one guy to slide out of his gap, and that's what it's been, and it's. I wish I could say it's this one guy, but especially the last 3 or 4 weeks, it just comes down to everybody trusting each other that they're going to do their job, and if we can just focus on doing that, that's going to save us from a lot of heartague.
Adam, what were you guys able to do with Ryan Tannehill over the past week?
I mean, he just increased his throwing program. We're really it's kind of that. Okay, hey, did we cover this? Did we do on the move awkward throws? And that's the next step. And we just kept trying to spitball things off each other to make sure that we're covering everything before we would get him out to practice, to where now all of a sudden something comes up and he hasn't done it yet. So that's really, once we got through the initial, okay, stationary target, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now, all right, let's get some moving bodies in there, and it's not the same because it's, trainers running around instead of professional athletes. So, I mean, but he does a good job of simulating that in his head of, okay, I got to put the ball here, and they just, I got to pretend it's a moving target.
How's he look to you?
I think he looks what I remember. I feel like it's forever since I've seen him throw, but to me, he looks what he wants to look like. Now it's about the next day. How do I feel the next day? And then how much can we do the next day? And then after a day off, like, how does he feel after that? And really it's going to be a test. So, if we go out to practice and now it's a different intensity. It's different throws. You got bodies in front of you. Now your arm angle has to change. It's just there's some things that we can't do with him on air that we're going to be able to do with him at practice.
Wednesday, then?
That is a discussion I still have to have with him as far as where I need him to just shoot me straight and tell me where he's at, and then we'll go from there, and obviously practice is going to come up here quick, and then I'll have a better idea. I probably purposely didn't meet with him yet, so I didn't have an answer for you.
What's your chances of playing this week, Adam?
His chances? I don't know. I'll find out here in a little bit. I really don't know, because I'm not going to rule him out, because if he comes to me and is like, man, I feel great, and we can't be wrong of start the week one way and then flip back, or vice versa, of like we get to Friday and all of a sudden it's hey, I feel like I can go. Like, it just doesn't work. It's just hard enough for a quarterback as it is when you get all the reps during a week of practice. So we'll kind of see how it goes.
So you don't anticipate making that decision, I guess, like Wednesday, like you had previous weeks?
Well, I mean, I think we're practicing tomorrow, right? I'm running out of time.
What changed with Jakeem, and what did that mean for you guys?
I mean, nothing really changed. It was just really getting the results of everything and getting our options. I mean, the good thing is he didn't tear his Achilles. He's able to get a procedure done to where we can get him back a lot sooner and still, fix the things that we need him to get fixed, to where he can alleviate a lot of the pain that he's been going through. It's unfortunate for us because I felt like he was having a really good year. He was doing a lot for us, and I know once again it's a crushing blow for a guy that gives you everything he has.
As far as kick returning and punt returning duties, there's going to be more Danny on the punt return?
I mean, we'll see. We're going to have to probably move some things around, and I mean, that's obvious.
You have a better idea on your offensive tackles, Laramie and Juwan?
I don't yet. I haven't spoken to either one of those guys, so I know they were trying to rehab and see where they're at when we get going tomorrow. So I'll have a chance to holler at those guys at some point, either today or tomorrow.
Is there a chance that Devontae plays this week? Devontae, is there a chance he plays this week?
I think so. I mean, we'll see how practice goes. I mean, it's one thing to go out there and be able to be dressed for a game, ready to go, but to be able to be as effective as we need guys to be, that's really that's what it comes down to. Can he do what he needs to do?
You said he didn't tear his Achilles. Was it an injury to his Achilles?
Yeah, it was something different. I try not to pay too much attention to the exacts of everything, because I know I'll mess it up. So that's why I do that sometimes. And it was not the Achilles though, because the first thing everybody thought that's what it was. But that would have been the first person I ever saw hop off the field like that with an Achilles injury. Usually just see him down and they're trying to figure out what happened. So, it was something in that area. And, he's had Achilles pain for probably 4 years. He's played through it. Coming from college. It's just what it is. And, he just doesn't say a whole bunch about it.
Adam, obviously what your tight ends and receivers do is so dependent on the quarterback. With Gesicki, he's obviously made progress. Was it unrealistic for people, media fans, to think he'd come in and catch 1 million balls as a rookie just because it's tough at that position to learn everything you need to learn?
No, I think I had, in my head, I was thinking we were going to be able to, especially early on, get the one-on-one coverages and, make the defense really think like, all right, we got to take him away. Now, it was just strange how we started out and all of a sudden we're getting 2 guys going out on him. I'm like, he hasn't caught a touchdown pass yet. Like, why is this happening? So it was, I think, a little bit of surprise on the fact that they were respecting what he had done in college and not giving us, giving him the opportunity to have the one-on-one matchups that you're hoping he would have. And we don't see as much man as what we probably anticipated leading into the season, and that's where he would have a lot of success going against a linebacker or safety, but instead he's getting a lot more corner. We're getting zone looks, too high type deals, which, that's where we should be able to run the ball better and take advantage of that.
If Ryan could play this week, what gives you confidence that he's going to be able to pick up where he left off?
It's just, these guys, the professional athletes, this is what they do. This is what they know. I'm not going to, if he's in there, I'm not going to be thinking like, well, he hasn't played. Like, we're going to go and we're going to play. And if he makes a mistake, he makes a mistake. I'm not going to sit there and dwell on it. I just want him, whenever this happens where he goes in there, I just want him to just play his game and not worry about anything else.
With Albert and Jakeem down, let's talk about Kenny Stills for a minute. What kind of an opportunity do you foresee for him in the last 6 games?
Well, now that we're further away from his injury, hopefully he's healthier than what he was. Last week, it could not have been easy for him. We want to stretch the field with him. It's just, it's hard when, they know he's not probably 100%. And I know he's pushing and trying to give us everything he has. And we've had opportunities where he does get behind the defense and we can't get the ball to him. And, it's a little frustrating probably for me. Like, he doesn't say much about it, but, we want to be able to take advantage of the fact that he gets behind, the DBs, and we haven't been able to do that so far.
Adam, did you have a chance to watch the Colts yesterday, and what was your takeaway if you did?
I watched a little bit when I was bouncing around watching a lot of different games. It's rare that you get those type of Sundays where you can watch the Red Zone channel and stuff, which is always fun for somebody that's massively ADD. So that thing's bouncing around all over the place. It's great. And, watching them, it's you can see Andrew Luck is looking like what he used to look like. And, arm strength looks good. And then everybody else kind of starts feeding off of that. And their defense is playing fast. And they're making a lot of good plays and creating turnovers and flying around and getting to the ball and creating negative plays. There's a reason why they're winning games.
You're part of quite a pack at 5-5. What's your take on the standings?
I don't know. I feel like this is a repeat of what we've said the last 2 years. So this is what it is. That's the NFL. That's what everybody wants, right? You don't want to be going into, got 10 games down. The last 6, it was already determined. Why watch? So this is what it is. This is what it always is. It's just who can have the best 6-game season.
As you consider what to do with Ryan, do the struggles that the offense has had recently factor into that at all?
I think a lot of our struggles have come from not taking advantage of opportunities when we've had them, and it hasn't been one guy. I can't say this is the reason. I know it's easy to go to the quarterback, and I know there's been times where Brock's been in the right spot, made the right throw, and we don't finish the play, or we have what we want and protection breaks down so fast that he has no opportunity. So, I mean, really it comes down to our whole group has to play better. And if we do that, no matter who's back there, it gives us a better chance.
What are the one or two things that make you think that you guys will play better in this 6-game stretch here?
So I like this group. This group works, man. This group does a great job in practice. I mean, they practice hard. They give max effort as far as knowing what's going on, understanding the game plan, understanding how we want to play as a team. You know, it's just, you know, we went 10 straight games, and you know, it's probably going to be good when guys get back got a little bit of a refresher. You know, you got to take a breath, you got to watch some football, and you can see that there's a lot of the same things that we're going through is happening in other places. And it's just who can pull it together and who can stay healthy enough these last 6 games to make a move.
What kind of feedback have you gotten from Mr. Ross over the last, say, 18 weeks?
I mean, he's been great with really every time I see him after a game or talk to him during the week. Just keep grinding, you know, don't worry. Don't think too much about like injuries. I think he looks at that of, you know, we've lost some good players. You know, I mean, that's something that is always unfortunate. Because he can see those big plays when they were occurring with Albert and what we get from Jakeem, and, you know, when we were hitting some deeper throws with Ryan in there, and, you know, he sees all that stuff. And then when those guys aren't there anymore, like, he understands that we got to do what we got to do to try to move the ball and win the game.
What do you think, I guess, it says about this team that you guys are still in the thick of it, given everything that's happened?
I mean, that's what we wanted. We wanted guys that'll battle for the entire season. You know, give ourselves a chance in December to create our own destiny. I mean, that's what we wanted when we started this thing. You never know how it's going to shake out. You never know, you know, the injury situation. Who knows what's going to happen? You never know. And no matter who's available and who's not available, as long as your locker room is tight and those guys work hard and stick together, that gives yourself a chance.
Just a couple more guys. One guy you acquired last week. What did you, Mike and Chris, like as far as skill set with Bryce Butler?
I mean, he's a bigger guy, good speed. You know, go up and get the ball. I think it was just, you know, with really at the time we didn't know where Devontae was going to be. You know, we didn't know how quickly he'd be able to come back, and, you know, Jakeem was really playing X for us for the most part. Him and Devontae were really splitting that, really, because Devontae be out and Jakeem would kind of help him out, and Kenny was bouncing all over the place. So we just felt like it was somebody with good size and just a, you know, different type of body type. We did like, you know, the fact that he is a bigger guy and can go up and get it and can stretch the field. You know, that was interesting.
Ryan, you mentioned his progressions. You said he is getting up to 50 yards throwing the ball.
Yeah, he can throw it down the field now. I mean, it looks good. It looks good. It's just all about like how many times, you know, and it's always just constantly that conversation of how you feeling. And I'm sure it's annoying to him, especially. I'll ask the same question so many times where he's like, "I've enough." So, but it's just like I don't know how he feels. I know I just got to go off of what he tells me.
Was he every day during the bye working out?
I think there was a few days where he was off to where it's like the compliance of the bye week rules and things like that. Like, I know, you know, especially Thursday on, I wasn't around him, so.
Bobby McCain.
He's still in the protocol.
And Andre Branch, I know he had a shoulder issue. Is that something that could impact?
Yeah, I asked him if he was all right. He said he was more upset that he missed a sack, but maybe that played a little part in it. But you know, he's been. I mean, it's football. I mean, he's going to be banged up.
Alright guys, you've reached the end of my video. This is the end of the interviews. I hope you enjoyed those. I hope you enjoyed my show. Also, as a whole, if you did, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Make sure you hit the like button. And please share your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. I love interacting with you guys. It's for you. This is for you. And also follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. It's on the end screen. My Twitter handle is on the end screen if you need to know it. And with that, guys, I'm out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.